Let's talk about Gala Music for a second, a very recent project launch from the same developers that brought us Gala Games ecosystem and the Gala Utility token. In this video, we're gonna take a look at Gala Music and see what it's all about, do a little bit of research on what available information we have out there, and see if they have what it takes in order to break into the decentralized music streaming space. Now, before we jump over to the screen, this isn't going to be an easy task. I will start off with that. There has been many people who have tried to break into music streaming and dethrone those overarching record labels, but there is no easy way to go about that. Unfortunately, they still hold all the cards, and hopefully they will provide what it is needed to break into the space and actually give the creativity and control back to the artist. Now, before we jump into this, one thing you should know, this is a very early video to the project. This was recently announced, as far as I can tell, February 9th. So as of yet, there is no actual streaming playable service. There is no, app out there where you can go listen to music, let alone there has only been one announced creator on the platform, Snoop Dogg. So with all that said, let's jump over to the screens and see what little information we have out there and start to make some assumptions, shall we? Okay, so we're gonna start off with the website because there really isn't much information out there. Like I said, this was launched maybe 3 days ago as of making this video. So we have the website, I believe we have a Twitter that we're gonna take a look at that's not got very many posts, and we actually have their Discord, which is really all the information we have available out there. So at this point, there isn't a lot to go off of, although we have a bit of information and it will tell us whether or not this is an early project we wanna be a part of, or it's going to crash and burn like many other music Trojan horses that have been out there trying to break into the space. So what it's all about is really about decentralized music and trying to give control back to the artist. This is the main general theme of the whole thing. If we look at the first 3 things, it kind of gives us a little bit of an insight into what it's trying to do. Empower the artist, as I said, it's really about giving them control. So they're trying to take out the middleman of the record label. And that's really a big part of decentralization, period. So obviously that's going to be there. There's going to be a part incorporated into sort of the tokenomics eventually where it will help promote emerging musicians, as it says here, in a way that actually takes some of the money and automatically markets it and plays it, because it will incentivize people to make money as they listen to those new agents. And I'll talk about that in a little bit when it comes to the nodes and actually the player that they're looking to develop. We haven't got much information, but that's what we're being told so far. And the rewards will be shared. It's going to be truly decentralized as much as it can, in the sense that you can actually buy nodes just like they have done with their gaming ecosystem, where you earn rewards for hosting the service. You can actually even buy NFTs, which will reward you in some capacity, but then also you get more utility out of the NFTs than you ever did with, say, just buying a CD or downloading a music. And we'll go into that in 1 second as we take a look at Snoop Dogg's first drop, this stash box. At this point, Snoop Dogg is the only artist on the platform, and this is currently the only launch, but it's definitely a big name out there that I think will bring a little bit of buzz behind it. As I had mentioned earlier, I found a Reddit advertisement is how I found out about Gala Music. This was the only shock there. Obviously, seeing a name like Snoop's gained my interest, although I had just done a video, which I'll link below, on the gaming system, and I couldn't find any information out there. I don't know if I already said this, but I couldn't find any information on the Gala Music, and this was a shock to see this announcement, period. Very interesting, and obviously they're doing a little bit with their marketing, so I'm curious to see what's gonna happen next. So let's take a look at actually what we're being sold. So clicking on the buy now will take us to the page where you can purchase an NFT drop from Snoop Dogg at this point. And you can actually see here a big metric is that it is for 16,824 Gala. Now, let's bring up a quick calculator, and 16,824, and as of making this video, current prices of Gala coin are about 31 cents. So that's about $5,000. So that's a purchase of $5,000 for this NFT, but they're poising it as much more than just purchasing a music track. So you really get a little bit of a breakdown on what it is that you're going to be getting here. It looks like that you're going to be part of a community that only has 25,000 available. And seeing as I see 16,000 here, it looks like there's been, 9,000, 10,000, somewhere in, about 9,000 that have been purchased already. And each box will contain one of 17 songs. It doesn't list which one you're going to get. So it seems like it's a bit of Russian roulette out there, which is interesting. But you also can get other things. You can get things such as comics, films, images, potential for even unique concert attendances. And Snoop Dogg actually even goes into making a video, which I can't show you, that's on their website, talking about the fact that you can get opportunities for private events that if you purchased all 17 of them, I believe, you would actually be allowed to come and meet them and actually be part of a private event. And I think each one of them will be allowed to have one of his gold death row chains. So there's more utility trying to be provided by this NFT space. And I think this is going to be one of the major enticing factors of the decentralized music space, or their, at very least, effort to break into music streaming in a place that's already locked down by record labels. We're gonna bring you so much more from the artists and allow the artists to really decide what it is that they wanna offer to their community. So I think this is a big part of it and something we should take note of as gonna be the benefit for artists and for people who listen, and potentially for this music industry to, or this portion of the industry to grow. And here's another interesting thing I just wanna slide in there, is that a little bit of cross marketing is actually happening. They have certain drops that are happening inside of the 2 playable games on their Gala Games ecosystem, Townstar and Spider Tanks, where they actually have in-game NFTs that are Snoop Dogg related, again, as part of promotion to push the music. But here's what's even interesting beyond that, just in having part of a larger marketing profile where you have a bunch of people that may not have even been able to been marketed to before, but you also have the potential to bring those music and provide the creator and the people who use the space like video games with the content they want, because they could be listening to a radio, say in GTA 5, 6, 7, and listening to the actual track they want to hear, and that record label or the artist will actually get paid on the back end, incentivizing more artists to be involved in that. You'll listen to the music you want in the metaverse. It's gonna be the music that's actually available instead of royalty-free music, which is pretty much the shtick right now. So I think that's an interesting portion of it too. They're building 2 giant ecosystems that are gonna take a lot of market share when it comes to the metaverse, right? You're gonna wanna listen to music while you're doing stuff on the computer, and if you're playing video games, you're probably deep into the metaverse already. So this is an interesting play from this developer altogether. All right, from here, I'm gonna jump over to the ecosystem tab up at the top and kind of just take a look down the available tabs here, which is like trying to give us an example of what it is all about. So you are able as an artist to mint an NFT, no record label, no middleman there, and you can putting these drops together, you can give full albums out, you can give songs, it's up to you. You know, you can give away gold chains, you can give away concerts, tickets, images, comics, videos. You'll be able to put the whole package together along with that music being played on the platform. So that's a very interesting part right off the bat. You will also be able to purchase those NFTs, but also be able to gain some revenue from the NFT you purchase. So going back to Snoop Dogg's one available there, obviously $5,000 is a huge investment to be purchasing from a music track, right? Not let alone a music track you don't know which one you're getting. Now, I'm not sure if that's gonna be unique to Snoop Dogg, whether it's gonna be a random thing every time or whether that's just something they're going with. But the benefit is that you get a portion of revenue as people listen to it. And there's a couple of ways you can go about that. We'll talk about that when we get to the nodes. But the artists actually get paid a very large amount of it. And I guess we're talking about the nodes right now. There will be 2 node types that they're gonna probably bring out, which they say here is gonna be a fan node and then the player node. The player node, which is an interesting portion that I'll talk about in a second, is going to be the actual, just like the gaming founder nodes, the gaming token, it's going to be the thing that actually keeps the ecosystem running. You will be able to run one on your personal computer. It will allow people to listen to it because you'll be providing the streaming service from you'll be using your internet connection, your electricity to provide them, and in turn you will get rewards. And there's the tokenomics I'll show you in a second. But the fan nodes will just be specific to their NFTs, so you can only get revenue from the NFT you have. As of right now, they actually talk about the opportunity to provide one day they want to be able to provide leasing options for your NFT. So if you don't have a player node, but you do have an NFT, you may be able to do a 50-50 split to some degree, or whatever they end up working out, where you can rent it to someone who has a player node and let them generate the income for you. You guys split it evenly down the road. So either way, there's definitely an earning portion to this whole ecosystem and an incentive again to purchase into. So not only do you get the music, but also all these other utility to it. You literally could potentially be making money every time you purchase new music tracks. Now, I don't know if they'll all be $5,000, but they're definitely going to be worth something. So, and the listen to earn portion, which is what I kind of mentioned earlier about promoting smaller indie projects or smaller projects in music projects on the platform, is that they want to potentially bring out a way to do a listen to earn model where, again, they're gonna pay you to listen to smaller artists, therefore getting their listen time up and promoting them as a marketing tool. So this would be a very huge incentive for small brands to jump on board to this platform, which I think is gonna be much needed, right? It's like you look at something such as SoundCloud, which one of its real strong suits was just sort of the underground market of people out there making music, putting it up for people to listen to. And we got that whole period of SoundCloud rappers. I mean, I'm sure it's still going, but that was like a whole thing for a while with Tekashi 6ix9ine and those sort of guys coming out of that space because they probably weren't going the traditional record label route, even though they eventually did based on their track listens. But it's a great way to kind of get people in there. Not just big names. We saw things like Tidal fail miserably trying to just get a bunch of big brands there. It's gonna be about getting a mix of both. You need big names and you need some small indie music too, because those two together really give us a more open picture of a whole music profile that we want to listen to as people, right? So that's kind of the ecosystem page I wanted to show you because that gives you a little bit more of a breakdown of what's going on. And my next favorite part that I really want to jump on over to is the nodes. So let's talk about the nodes for a second. The nodes are going to be the backbone of this music streaming service. And this is what's going to be very important, is because this is where the real opportunity or investment comes. But if you ask anyone over at Gala Music or Gala Games industry, they make it very clear that they don't want it to be considered as an investment. You are in it because you like the project. Although we have to stand this back and say, obviously, if there's an earning mechanism to it, that's going to be a major investment. But they really, I think probably from a legal standpoint, let alone just also having people who are more into the project and not trading this, they're going to make it very clear that this is not an investment opportunity, even though probably it is. It's a opportunity for people to support the platform, and they believe in the idea, and you can be rewarded for doing so. And an interesting portion of this is that as of right now, and I'm gonna do a whole video on these nodes because I actually purchased one. And I'm really excited about it because I missed out on the gaming token and getting one of the founders nodes from the Gala Games gaming ecosystem. I could still possibly get one, but $90,000 is not coming easy. So that's something that I'm gonna look at in the future, but I can get in this because right now they're only going for $1,200 as of launch. It's going up. It went up from this morning. It was actually under $1,200 and it's now over $1,200. You also have to pay for some Ethereum transaction fees, but we'll talk about that in a second. But they're not gonna be transferable. And it says it clearly in huge bold writing everywhere, non-transferable. You're not going to be able to just quickly trade these as NFTs on some OpenSea marketplace or something like that. So they really want to make it like people aren't out there trading this as an investment opportunity. I also believe I read somewhere in the Discord that you're not going to have the opportunity for that because there's going to be unlimited amounts of them. So there won't have the same sort of rarity that might be with 50,000 only in the gaming space of the gaming founder nodes, but it's still an interesting prospect, and we'll dive into that in a whole other video because like I said, I purchased one and I'm very excited about it. So I want to go into what that would mean for you if you want to get your own. But here's the basics of what you're getting into. You've got to purchase the license, just like you did with the gaming token. You purchase the license. Once that's good to go, you'll have to download the software. You'll put your license in, and then you'll have the opportunity to right off the bat earn a portion of all music that's played. But then if you can earn extra income with any NFT that's paired with your specific node, and if it's paired with your specific node and yours is the one that's playing it, you get extra rewards there too. So yes, you will get rewards regardless, not just if yours is the only one playing it. So that's a pretty interesting portion for everybody to know. Now this page does go into a large in-depth fact that actually tries to give as much information as they can out there. At the end of the day, there isn't everything in here, and really one of the best places to get a lot of the information you would want is a Discord. They have their Discord for music, Gala Music specifically, not Gala Games, Gala Music. And I found that these two tabs over here on the left, Here and Now and Music Nodes, are pretty much the places you want to go to. Look guys, everyone keeps asking questions and everyone keeps pointing them right back to the pinned comments. Over here on the right-hand side, stick to the pinned comments right off the bat if you're looking for information regarding these protocols, how the nodes are gonna work. It seems as though right now mostly people are just worried about the nodes, even in the here and now, which is supposed to be just more general news. But when it comes to the nodes, Pinned comments have got a lot of information on what's going to happen so far, how they're going to look. So actually here I pulled a little snippet for you so I could blow it up. These are the tokenomics as of right now in the pinned comments, as I mentioned before. So for example, every single time a track is played, 10 cents will be minted. Now that's probably coming from the infrastructure. Whether they're going to have a subscription model has yet to be determined, and that will be something I'll talk about in my node video. But assuming 10 cents is going to be minted off of every single play from the ecosystem, 50% is going to go to the artist, 35% will be distributed evenly across the owners of that NFT. So if you purchase that NFT from Snoop Dogg and you have one of those tracks and that track gets played, you're gonna get 35% obviously divided amongst all of you, but you're getting a portion of that. And you will actually have an extra portion if it's paired with a music node. The music node gets 10% on all music played regardless, but you get an extra 5% as a music node player if you have the track that's actually being played. And what I've found out and read through some of the white paper is that it will go based on proximity. So it actually benefits you to have multiple nodes, or if you do have multiple nodes, you'll want to actually have them separated geographically, because it's going to be based on proximity and bandwidth or ping, like how fast, who's gonna have the closest and best latency when it comes to playing back for the person. That's who's gonna end up getting the actual extra 5%. So incentive there, if you're gonna go out there purchasing more, which I've thought, hey, maybe I will purchase more, but then I'm like, how am I gonna get someone to put, I gotta run a computer somewhere else in the country and have them run this node, maybe split the profits with them, talk about electricity, that's a whole other thing. But if that's something you're interested in, keep that in mind. It's not gonna be like the founders nodes where you can just generate on one computer and you get all the same you would. Geographically, it's gonna be better to spread these nodes out. And I guess really quickly, this was sort of the big post that I came across, that the only mention of it again in a lot of their media, traditional media on their Medium, was welcome Snoop Dogg to Gala. So as I said, right now, he's the only guy on the platform. There's a huge article kind of going into it, what it means. Go check this out if you're interested in actually purchasing some of this music or the NFTs. It's very interesting. I believe this probably goes into, stash boxes cost $5,000. But remember, you're becoming part owner. So it's a very interesting prospect out there. I don't know what the rewards are going to look like. And then also you're thinking, hey, I'm purchasing and getting potential reward plays off of an artist. Do I think that music's going to do good? So you may want to go check it out. And actually what I found out is that it's over on Spotify right now. You can play the track. You can play the tracks as far as I can tell. So go check them out on Spotify. If it's something you actually like, you may be into it. If you don't think it's great, then you may not want to spend $5,000 on it because you don't see many future plays in the future. But while we're here, the real other place that I see that's available for information is Gala Music Twitter, and they don't have much. But what I did want to bring to you is a partnership with Steve Aoki is likely to be happening. And they actually did an opening night over in LA, I believe a couple days ago. And they brought in the same group that's looking to make some NFTs here, 888 Inner Circle. They just recently did an NFT drop on their NFT on their Gala Games ecosystem. I'm looking for my slider tab here. But you can actually see there's Steve Aoki again with some people playing at a sort of concert that they had for a party, I believe on September 11th, or February 10th. February 10th it looks like, or at least this is when this was posted. Again, you can kind of just see there's a whole bunch of sort of music going on. I don't see crowds. The only thing here is that one picture from Steve up here with the crowd is all I see. Now, is that a bunch of people standing there? Is no one around? Because really everywhere I go, it just shows the artist. And that doesn't look like a crowded room if you ask me, right? So I'm not, there we go. There's another kind of empty space. I don't know. It's very interesting whether or not a lot of people showed up. Oh, I guess there's a few people in there. It doesn't look quite as crowded as I wanted, but Omicron, all that jazz. So maybe it's not happening. So this happened recently, but the Steve Aoki portion was the part I wanted to talk about. Oh, and if we scroll down to the bottom of the timeline, that's it. This was the first they posted, February 9th. So we're very early to this project. So I know that was a lot of information to rattle off. I just wanted to get this video out there sooner than later so people could start to see what the project is all about and whether or not it's something I want to deep dive into a little bit more. Like I said, it's very interesting that this is on the heels of just doing a video but a few days ago on the gaming ecosystem they have, which has obviously been established, and I missed the train on that node set, but I went ahead and purchased the node because I was really happy with what I saw in the gaming space, especially when it comes to an investment opportunity, whether it be in the coin itself and even in the founders nodes. And I'm really interested in a founders node because it looks like there's daily income there. Now, these have been said to have not have the same sort of tokenomics and structure. Obviously, I showed you those for these player nodes, but I still believe that these people in the group behind this look like they know what they're doing, and I really think they've vetted the ideas and are onto something. This could be interesting. Again, I think it's two platforms coming together, music and gaming. I think they're like lamb and tuna fish, a combination that you wouldn't think tastes great, but is probably amazing. So that's my little thoughts on the project. I'm kind of interested in it. I did purchase a node. I have a little bit of extra Gala left over. I'm going to be making a video on how to get your own player node and what you need to think about. It's not really complicated, but there's definitely a few nuances that you may want to know about before you jump into it. So check that out when you can. And let me know what you think. I'm very interested. I want to start conversations with you guys on what you think on these projects or these platforms. Do you think this is a good use of trying to get into the decentralized music space? Do you think they have the potential to dethrone record labels from that middleman position? It's a really tough thing that hasn't been done before. So could this be a way with enough incentive to get enough people behind it in the project? Let me know what you think. And if you found any value in this, you liked any of the content, I do stuff like this all the time. I'm generally looking for those crypto moonshots early on. This one's really early on. If you like it, you know what to do. Like, subscribe, do that stuff. Really helps the channel grow. And I'm gonna go ahead and see you in the next one where I talk about player nodes.